Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Healthy Business Podcast. Today I am celebrating. It is the 100th episode. I literally cannot believe that 100 episodes have been recorded, and here I am, and I'm so genuinely excited. And I really thought long and hard about what I wanted to share with you on this special, momentous episode, something that would be useful for you, but also would be a little bit thought-provoking and inspiring as well. And what I thought I would do is share with you 4 shifts that have enabled me to supercharge my business to reaching the heights of 6-figure success and beyond, and really sharing a little bit about my 6-figure journey and how I've been able to shift into much more of a CEO and really thinking strategically rather than just having a business that makes money, that is not just there to support people, but actually a business that really leads the way and thinks strategically, and how I can be a part of that as well. So I wanted to share my journey because when I started looking around and I was looking at growing, there weren't a huge number of people that actually inspired me, which is a sad thing to say, right? When there are so many female business owners. And I really thought at that, actually, it gives me that opportunity to be able to inspire other people. And I wanted to share some of the insights of what I have done and what I've shifted in order for me to grow my business in the way that I have, but also to do it in an aligned way that isn't a cookie cutter approach. I've done it in my way. And I think that's really important as well. There are a lot of people that teach, or from a coaching perspective, teach, their one way, and that is the only way that you can grow your business and achieve success. And so I guess I want to start this by kind of busting a bit of a myth that actually to grow your business, you have to do it your way. So I'm going to share with you 4 major shifts that I have gone through and really lent into that I hope will inspire you. I hope will give you some opportunities to look at your business and really think about ways that you can step up and break through to that next level of success as well. So before I do that, I actually have an invitation for you. Given it's a celebration podcast episode, it makes sense for me to celebrate with you. So I wanted to share an invitation. So this invitation is for female business owners who are making at least 2,000 to 3,000 a month, but you are feeling stuck on how you can get to that next level, breaking through to your 5K, 10K months. Because I know you're ambitious, you're listening to this and you are so ready for your next breakthrough, and you want to be around others who are making an impact. And if you are wanting that and you're wanting some support from a high-level mentorship, then I would love to invite you to have a conversation with me about how you can do that. And I would love to invite you to the opportunity of joining my Thrive Mastermind, because that is where all the action taking happens. The ladies who are in there were genuinely feeling nervous about committing to being in that container. And I share that because you do go through that nervousness when you're investing in yourself, when you are wanting to break through. But you know what? Staying still, staying static is worse for me, but also for so many other people that I love working with, because you want more. You want to get to that next level because it gives you more of those things that you want, those choices, that time freedom, the flexibility, all the reasons that you set up your business in the first place. So if you're looking for support, if you're looking to know how to grow your business in a way that feels good for you, that you can thrive, not just survive, but really get you to that next level, then I invite you to drop me a message, either direct message me on Instagram at Sarah Cook Coaching, or send me an email at hello@sarahcookcoaching.com. Now, I mix business as well as personal. For me, you have to have the combination of both. And for market leading business owners, whatever niche, whatever industry you're in, and I work with product owners, I work with service owners, I work with businesses that do a mix of both. Not just how to get your next clients, but also holding space for you, how you can have more clients, how you can grow your business into a bigger and more profitable business, how you can actually have the capacity to take your business to the next level. Because what got you where you are now is not what's going to get you to the next level. So don't keep going through that treacle of scattergun approach, because having that insight, having the right tools, the right support, having a sounding board, not just from me, but also other women who are ambitious and are nailing their goals every single month. Now, I'm recording this at the end of Q1. We're coming into the beginning of Q2. And every single one of my clients in the mastermind have achieved their best month yet within Q1. And I don't say that lightly. Most people who invest in big containers, it takes them a long time to get that return on investment. The majority of the clients in there get their investment back for the full 12 months within the first 2 to 3 months. That's 8 to 12 weeks, right? It works. I support people in a way that feels good for you. It's not about a cookie cutter approach. I help you grow your business in ways that feel good for you based on your strengths and your values. So if you're looking for more excitement and growth, then make sure you're dropping me an email or a message. The mastermind is invitation only. And it's really important for me that I do that. I don't let anybody in there, because you have to be that right person that wants to grow your business, that is action taking, that is open to that support, that actually wants to make a difference. So this is about having the right people within the container. But if you don't feel like you're quite in that space yet, also drop me a message, because I can tell you how you can do the things that you need to do to get to that space. Because this isn't just about, having an online space. We have 2 retreats that are included throughout the year. We get together, we work on each other's businesses. We are really open and supportive, because it's not just about knowing what to do, it's knowing about how to do it. It's having that accountability, that support, and really being able to thrive within your life as well as your business. So there's my invitation to you on this celebratory episode. And if you're feeling drawn to build a business in a way that feels aligned to you without the cookie cutter approach, then make sure you drop me a message or send me that email. Okay, so my 4 shifts, because they're very linked to what I've just been sharing. And I'm going to delve into these 4 separate areas. And the first one is all about your business model. Now, the pathway to 5K months is so different to that of a 10K month, or even 50K months, which I've experienced as well. Really delving into keeping things simple, right? I'm all about simplicity. You do not need to overcomplicate things. And this was one of the big shifts that I learned, because I had so many different offerings. I had different programs. I have different offers that I was selling, low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, and everything in between. And the reality is, every new offer that you put out there, each new program that you create, it requires a new level of support. So it's almost like a whole new business. Maybe it's even a whole new audience that you are attracting and nurturing and converting. And that's okay, but actually it makes it harder. So to keep things simple, what I really want to encourage you to do, and something that I've learned, is to really understand your business, really understand what the main driving force is within your business. So, for example, what's the biggest revenue driver for you? Now, usually this becomes kind of a high ticket, and it quite often is a one-to-many group coaching offering. Or if you've got products, then it's the same. It's offering things in a one-to-many perspective, because you want to make sure that you have your monthly recurring revenue at a high level, because that creates the consistency in your cash, that creates the security in your business, but also it allows scalability. So keeping things simple allows you to scale. Now, that might feel slightly against what you've been told before, but it absolutely is true for me and also for my clients, because you have your base level and you can scale from there. Now, for all of us entrepreneurs, us business owners, one of the brilliant things is that we have so many ideas, right? And it can feel really hard to prioritize those ideas. But what we really need to do is go back into that simplicity space. And a question that I ask a lot of my mastermind clients is, what's the simplest, easiest way for you to achieve your goals? And this is a question that I ask myself on a quarterly basis, as well as a kind of a full year basis when I'm setting out new goals. What is going to make the biggest difference and feel the simplest, easiest thing for you to deliver? So all of those ideas that you've come up with, and I love to open a Pandora's box of ideas, and I do this with new clients. It's quite often where we start, but then actually pulling those down into the things that are going to make the biggest difference. What's going to be the actual needle mover for you, for your business? So really understanding what the best course of action is for you to scale. It could be your best performing program that's going to help you scale. Quite often it is doubling down on what is working for you already. I don't want you to get stuck at the current levels you're at. I don't want you to get stuck at the 5 to 10K months. Really understanding where the bottlenecks are happening. So it might be lead generation, it might be audience growth. What's causing that bottleneck to allow you to scale that driving force of your business? Because when you really understand that, then you can double down on the things that actually make a difference to achieving things. Now, I've shifted my business model a lot from when I first started out in business. My first business was as a massage therapist. I became fully booked within 5 months, and I had to shift my business model very quickly. I added in product lines, I added in services, I added in workshops, I worked with people online because I understood my ideal client. And that enabled me not just to break through that income ceiling, it allowed me to help many more people. It allowed me to enter new markets. I became industry award winning for my products. I became celebrity endorsed with my products. It took me into different spaces, but it always came back to that simplicity. And this was one of the things that when I started mentoring and started coaching people on how to grow their businesses, I realized that I had 3 different businesses and I couldn't sustain that. I couldn't be a physical therapist, as well as being a product business owner, as well as being a coach in the ways that I wanted to, as well as living the life that I wanted to, if I was giving in all 3 different areas. So it meant that I had some difficult decisions to take. I had to step into that level of a CEO and really start looking at how I can create that sustainable business that feels good for me, that allows me to achieve my business goals as well as my personal goals. Now, there are no wrong answers. There are no right answers. The best answer and the right answer is the one that feels good for you based on your goals. Because building a sustainable business is really what you're looking for if you want to be in the game from a long-term perspective. Now, this brings me into the second shift that I wanted to share, because building a sustainable business is not relying on quick, unpredictable launches. Now, this becomes really important because you want to have sales on a consistent basis, and you want to start making your decisions as a CEO, right? So really considering what role you're taking within your business. Are you being that considered decision maker? Or are you just being someone who inspires others, right? You want to be that CEO. If you want that sustainable business, you want to make sure that you are acting as a CEO, making sure that your decisions are really leaning into what feels good for you. Now, unpredictable launches, if you're doing a short, sharp launch, they can work brilliantly, but I don't want your business to rely on those because they are unpredictable. What you want to make sure is that you have a consistent monthly revenue income that is growing month on month. And then the launches become the cherry on the cake rather than the other way around, because it takes you out of scarcity. It takes you out of hustle mode. It takes you into much more of a confident space where you know what you've got, and it takes you off relying on those unpredictable launches. So having evergreen sales, consistent sales that allow you to grow your business in a confident way, sustainable way, allows you to maximize your time, your energy, your resources in a really efficient way. It also means that you're setting yourself up for success for the long term, because we want to make sure that you have freedom. Flexible freedom is quite often the 2 words that people use when they're talking about success, right? Success isn't necessarily about the figure that you want to achieve. It's about the feeling that you want to achieve, that flexibility, the freedom, the choice. Now, we don't get that if we don't have consistent cash, if we don't have a profitable business, if our time is being spent in our business all the time. We want to make sure that all of those things are predictable. So making sure that you have that predictability within your business comes from simplicity, comes from having a sustainable business model. And flexibility and freedom are 2 of my key values. They're 2 of the key things that I really stress test when I'm making decisions about my business and the products that I'm launching or the services, the offers that I'm putting out there. The one thing to really consider with this is that you need to be patient, right? You need to do the work. This isn't about overnight quick success schemes. This is really about looking at your business, looking at the bottlenecks, exploring what's working, optimizing the things that are working, really considering what's not, like really being open with yourself, being quite critical in some ways, like really going under the skin of your business, not just moving month by month where things feel okay. Like get under the skin of your numbers, get under the skin of your lead generation, get under the skin of your own mindset, your capacity, your client delivery. Making sure that you know what's working and also what's not working will allow you to be intentional, again, with your time, your energy, your resources, your investments, because that's what's going to create that sustainable business. That's what's going to allow you to grow your business, to have the capacity to grow it as well. And this leads me on to my third shift and really where I created my success formula, which is clarity plus strategy plus mindset and energetics equals success and results. Really, really simple. But there are obviously things within each of those pillars. So within clarity, you want to make sure that you understand your ideal client. You want to make sure you know what they need. Lose the ego on this as well. Really making sure that you know what the needle mover is for you and for your business. So getting under the skin of your ideal client, getting under the skin of yourself. What do you want to achieve? What are the clear goals that you want to achieve? What are the clear goals of your ideal client? Your ideal client might evolve as you grow your business as well, and that's okay. Being super clear on that will allow you to create the best possible products, the services that allow your clients to achieve the results that they want to, but will also allow you to deliver in the best possible way. So understanding what your strengths are, understanding what your values are, really understanding how you want to use your time, your energy, your money to get the best results instead of being stuck. Sometimes it is just about a small tweak, and that can be really, really valuable. Sometimes you might want to work with somebody like a mentor or a coach to point this out for you, because sometimes when it's our own business, it can feel emotional, right? So sometimes we need to have that external viewpoint. There's a brilliant phrase that when you're inside the jar, you can't see the label on the front. And that is really, really important. It's one of the reasons that people join my mastermind, because they're getting that external viewpoint. They're getting that support, that strategic side of things. That's the power of a coach, of a mastermind, being part of those conversations from a bigger perspective. And that, again, is another shift. When you step into that CEO role, making sure that you're part of those bigger conversations, making sure that you have the right support, because you can have the clarity, you can have the strategy, but actually you need the mindset and the energetics to go with that as well. And that's one of the reasons to be part of a group container or working with a coach, even on a one-to-one basis, because simply deciding that you are going to do this is quite often the first step that you need to make. So if you want to achieve a 100K business, decide you're going to have a 100K business, right? Now that might sound really simple, and it is. We need to simply decide that that is what you want to achieve, because this isn't about wanting something that you feel like you should want. This is about wanting something that you actually want. And then you can understand where potentially there are some blocks or some limiting beliefs. You want to expand the capacity of your mindset, but also the capacity to hold that wealth as well, right? Like we see so many lottery winners that become bankrupt really quickly or lose all of that money really quickly, because they haven't worked on their wealth capacity. They don't know what to do with that money. You need to get used to seeing the money coming into your bank account and knowing what you're going to do with it. So having those goals, having those intentions. And, I look at my bank account on a daily basis, because for me, it's useful to see that money coming into my bank account. And even just looking at how I feel about that. That's really important. And that's shifted from when I first started my business, where anything that came out, it went straight out into paying a bill. Now it's a learned skill on how you manage your cash. And I use the profit first model. And that was a complete game changer for me on not just having money to pay myself, but actually focusing on the profits first, making sure that I was paying myself first. That's a really important thing as a business owner, not just from a reward perspective, but actually that confidence. Of course, you need to cover the costs, but actually you want to put your profit in there first. You want to make sure that you are being rewarded as the CEO, as the business owner, for all of the hard work that you're doing. So making sure that you know how to manage your cash, making sure that you understand the difference between cash and profit. This isn't just about covering your bills. This is about paying yourself the just rewards that you want to be paying for, but also that you can invest in different things. So don't ignore your money. Get under the skin of what's coming in on a weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis. That's what's going to allow you to create that monthly income and continually grow that month on month, because you get intentional. You start looking at how you can expand the capacity to hold that cash of all of your finances. So your mindset is a huge part of this, but also from an energy side of things. How do you set yourself up for your best possible day? Again, this might sound trivial, but if you get to the end of the day and you've done nothing for yourself, that can feel hard. You don't want to start resenting your business. You don't want to start resenting your clients. You don't want to start resenting your family. The reason that you run your business is because you're passionate about what you do and how you help people. So doing something for you right at the beginning of the day, that works brilliantly. And by the way, there's no right way of running your day. Now, I remember working with a coach several years ago who said your only measure of success is when you're working 3 days a week. Now, I found that so restrictive because I like to do different things. And, if an idea comes to me, I didn't want to box that away until I was next supposed to be working. Some people love working weekends and evenings. That's absolutely fine, right? I've got 2 young children. My working days are within their school days. And that means that I work across every day some weeks. Some weeks I only work 1 day. But having that flexibility, again, it goes back to that freedom, that flexibility, that choice. The only way to work in your business is the way that feels good for you. Doesn't mean I don't work hard. Of course I do. Of course, all of my clients do. But being intentional, working smarter in a way that feels good for you rather than just in that constant hustle mode. And when you've got that consistent cash coming in every month, when you've got that predictability, when you've got that confidence, that's when you can step away from your business when you need to as well. And then the fourth shift, so my final big shift, was around getting support. Now, this can come in all sorts of different ways. It isn't just necessarily about outsourcing things from a business perspective. This isn't just about growing your team. This is about understanding you, going back to what your strengths are. Who are you as a CEO? How many hours a week do you ideally want to work? Take that CEO approach as to what your business needs to help it grow. Look at what you're spending your time on. Does that have a direct impact on your business? Does it have a direct impact on your clients? Should you be doing it? Is it something that you love doing or something that you really hate doing or resent doing? Thinking about the team members that you might need within your business that allow you to grow your goals rather than just outsourcing from a vanity metric perspective or that it makes you feel good. So there are certain things that you shouldn't, in my opinion, be outsourcing if you're not ready to. A great example for this is your PR, right? You working on your PR, and PR is brilliant, right? It's part of a marketing mix. And I'm not suggesting that you don't do PR, but what I'm suggesting is that you have the back end of your business that allows you to support any PR that you do get. Do you have the funnels in place? Do you have a CRM and an email system that when people are contacting you, that they know where to go, they know how to find you? Do you have a website or branding that supports the PR that you are going to get? Looking good is part of it, but actually your results are primary here. There are other ways that you can show up and get visible, get connections, grow your business, get clients. I became fully booked in 5 months in my massage therapy business, and I didn't have a website. It was purely done on being visible in the right places at the right time with the right messaging. Similarly, as I've grown my coaching business, as I grew my product business, really being intentional about where I needed to show up and how I needed to show up. People buy from people, right? So think about how you can show up, whether it's through video, whether it's through conversations, whether it's showing up as a guest expert in other people's audiences. doing podcast interviews. You don't necessarily have to have your own podcast, but actually showing up and doing interviews in other people's, other collaborations, writing guest blogs, so many different marketing mix tools that you can use. Marketing isn't just about social media. And actually, and this is a big myth that a lot of people think, is that they need to be constantly visible. I would much rather that you were intentional with your time and your energy. There's a common theme on that you were consistent versus constant. And they are very, very different things. Now, the other thing is around this is that you need to connect with who you are, and your audience needs to connect with who you are. So really understanding your USPs, this goes back to what your strengths are. What is the needle mover for you in your business? Because this is where your content comes in. Being really intentional with the content that you're creating, be polarizing with it, writing great copy that speaks to your audience. So getting clear on your messaging. This is one thing that I hear from so many people. Oh, I hate social media. I hate marketing. I'm just going to outsource that. What if you reframed that into actually that's lead generation for your sales? So if you spent that time to be able to have those conversations with your ideal clients, you would have a constant pipeline, a flow of people that you are attracting into your business rather than feeling like you're hustling to sell, right? We want to be in that space where you're not selling and feeling like you're selling, because that takes you into an icky hustle mode. And none of us enjoy doing that. None of us like being on the receiving end of that. So getting clear as to what you stand for, what you want to be known for, how you help people, that's going to allow you to create consistent content that feels good for you, that gives value. Now, this is something that I teach in my accelerator program of how everything fits together, from understanding your ideal client, creating the marketing mix that feels good for you, that's aligned, learning the power of these things so that as and when you do choose to outsource, you know which elements you want to outsource, but also you know what to look for and what to expect, so you can outsource to the right people, or maybe just certain aspects of the bits that you want to outsource rather than outsourcing everything. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about when I'm talking about support is thinking about things from a personal perspective. So, think about what's going on in your home life, thinking, if you're a mum, what can you outsource, or how can you get additional support? This doesn't have to necessarily be directly within your business, because actually what happens within your business is going to have a direct impact on your personal life, and whatever happens in your personal life is going to have a direct impact on your business. It's one of the reasons that I dislike the phrase work-life balance, and for me it has to be integrated. And again, really understanding that and understanding that shift for me, that everything could be integrated. This wasn't one or the other. This is about how life works, and work is a pillar of that. So being able to build a business that supports the life you want to achieve and the life that you want to live is going to be a big game changer for you. And that also allows you to identify that wider support. I have childcare on 2 days a week, which allows me to work longer days. So 2 days a week, my children go into after school club and they love it. They're with their friends longer. It allows me to be really super intentional to prioritize work on 2 days a week, but it also allows me to be completely flexible on all the other days. So I can finish early. I actually get to be intentional with the time that I spent with them, so that when I do pick them up on the normal time from a school finishing, I'm completely present with them. And I think that's really important as you're growing your business, is that you need to be present in the things that you are currently in, whether that's childcare, whether that's being mum, whether that's caring for someone else, whether that's being wife, whether that's being a partner, whether that's being on holiday, whether that's being in client delivery mode. You want to be intentional. You don't want to be feeling like you're being pulled in all of these different directions, because that's when you get the energetic drain. That's when you feel burnt out. And none of us want that. That is not going to help you create a sustainable business. That is not going to help you break through to that six-figure success. That's not going to help you step up into that multi-six-figure success, right? But whatever your goals are, that is your level of success that you're wanting to work through. And this is about creating a life and a business that allows you to feel good, that allows you to thrive. That's the whole point of this. It's the whole point that you run your own business. You don't want to set up a business and run and scale a business that feels like a job. We can easily go into corporate world if we want to do that. That's quite often one of the reasons that we left it, because we wanted that flexibility, that freedom, that time, that choice, all of those things, right? So I've shared with you my 4 big shifts on how I have supercharged my success to not just to six figures and breaking through that mark, but beyond that, and continuing to grow month on month, quarter on quarter. And for me, it's not a figure that I'm aiming for. It's about the impact. It's about creating the life that I want to, the choices that I want to for my children, my family. And obviously, there are many more details that come under each of those four different shifts, whether it's the business model, whether it's the consistent sales through Evergreen or a launch side, whether it's actually really delving into those three different areas of my simple success formula, clarity plus strategy plus mindset and energetics. That is what's going to create that success for you, as well as getting the support that you need, not what other people tell you that you should need. And it's something that a lot of people really need to delve into, because if you want to grow your business, if you want to thrive, if you want to see that level of success, then hopefully this episode has given you some key ideas, some maybe potentially identify some key areas within your business or what's going on for you, or maybe why you're feeling stuck. Now, I've got a workshop that I would love for you to download. It is available on my website, so sarahcookcoaching.com/healthy business. And if you scroll down towards the bottom of the page, you will see Scale to Sustainable Figures. Now, that's an instant access online workshop where I go through into what I've been talking about a lot more detail. I give you, it's almost like a mini course, actually. You've got some tools, resources, there's a cash flow forecast, so you can get under the skin of your finances. It really helps you from a marketing perspective to really plan out the things you need within your business. And you don't need to do everything. Like, my background is marketing, my background is business strategy, but you don't need to be doing everything. This is about creating an aligned strategy. Once you've got clear on your goals, your ideal client, how you want to serve them, that allows you to create that success that you so want. And this is your time. Like, now is your time. Q2, we're nearly halfway through the year. At this end of this quarter, we're halfway through this year. Now is the time for you to be taking those simple, actionable steps to get consistent, to get those income results without the overwhelm or the burnout, to have more flexible freedom. I don't want you working all the hours. I want you to scale in a way that feels good for you. And I know that you can thrive in whatever it does as well. I'd also love your feedback on this episode. Let me know what has stood out for you most. So drop me a message over on Instagram at Sarah Cook Coaching. And I cannot wait to hear from you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Join me celebrating 100 episodes. Thank you for being part of this journey. I can't wait to be sharing more episodes with you very soon. I've got lots of exciting solo episodes, as well as some amazing guests coming very soon, including an Olympic athlete, which I will be delving into the synchronicities between that and business success as well. So I will hear from you soon. Drop me a message, and I hope you have enjoyed today's episode.